Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Excalibur Data Systems Roundtable Tech Talk. I am Mike Fuson, and I'm joined by Olivia Holmes, straight from the UK, and the grand poobah S of Halo CRM. Olivia, how are you?
Hello. Yes, I'm fine, thank you. How you doing, Mike?
Very well, thank you. So it's exciting to get together again. Halo CRM is something new that we just started talking about. So Olivia and I did our first video kind of highlighting what Halo CRM is. So to give our audience a little bit of an idea, I'll give you the synopsis. So Halo CRM is part of the Halo family of products. We all know and love Halo ITSM and Halo PSA. But Halo CRM is a product focused on and built for a customer service function, where ITSM and PSA are more of a technical IT type product. Halo CRM is for businesses that need to provide customer service to most likely and most often an external customer base. And one of the things that we're going to talk about today is the omni-channel approach that Halo CRM has taken, because it's very different than what may happen in a typical IT environment. And some of the things you guys have done to evolve the product uh, to really focus on that external customer facing capability. So, what are some of the things you guys have been up to of late, Olivia, in building out what is Halo CRM?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's kind of three key areas that I wanted to talk about today. One of the things that we've really focused on is just making the product even easier to use. So those of you who already use our software, the ITSM product or our PSA software, already know how easy it is to use. So if you can believe it, we've made it even easier and streamlined it even more. So it just means that we want to kind of reduce that reliance on IT departments and things like that. So customer service teams, customer service leaders, and customer experience leaders can administrate the platform on their own. We've really pushed that kind of low, no code approach and that switch on, switch off approach. So it's very much a streamlined and easy to use platform. So that's kind of one of the things that I want to show you first of all is just how we've really changed the administration of the platform. Second is, you're quite right, that omni-channel approach. So where previously the product has really focused on more traditional forms of support, email, telephony, maybe branching out into something like a self-service portal, Halo CRM has really pushed that, and we're expanding literally every day all the channels that you can connect to the platform. I'll show you more of it in a moment, but that does include things like social media integration, chatbots, live chat functions, website integration, and much, much more. So it's just about building the system in a way that allows organizations to be everywhere that their customer is and bring that communication into one centralized space. So that's one of the areas I wanted to delve into. And then just lastly, how we actually manage customer data, how we manage contact data in a more meaningful way, in a more easy to understand way, and in a way that takes away the headache of manually administrating that in any way. So yeah, three key areas that are really different, all with the goal of making it easier to use, making it more focused on that customer service use case, and ultimately helping organizations drive customer satisfaction, thereby creating customers that are retained and spend more money with them. Hey, that's the end goal.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Customer retention is one of the most difficult things. For it's
Absolutely.
much more expensive to get a new customer than it is to retain the ones you already have.
Yes,
Um,
that's exactly
so,
right.
how do we go about doing this? So, why don't you show us a little bit about what you guys have been up to?
Yes.
I'm sure everyone would love to see some of the changes. Now, Olivia and I had talked about some of this stuff in our first episode, which was not even 2 weeks ago. And we've got new enhancements that have happened. That's one of the things that is the Halo way, which is continual, what I like to see, expansion and
Mm.
continual innovation inside the product to the market that the product is focused on. So take it away, Olivia. Show us what's been going on.
Absolutely. So hopefully you can see my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So as Mike said, literally every change that we've made here, all the bits and bobs that I am going to now show you have been derived as a result of customer feedback. So all our lovely customers that have already come on board with HaloCRM have had the chance to feedback on the product and have really influenced what we've done and what I'm going to show you today, just as any customer would. After all, that is the Halo way. So first thing to say is obviously the software still has that real sort of Halo look and feel. We haven't deviated that far from our lovely pre-existing products. So for those organizations that are already using maybe the ITSM platform and are looking to add on the CRM platform, you'll be able to leverage literally all of that knowledge that you've built up on how to administrate the platform into HaloCRM as well. So that kind of time to value, the speed of the implementation is really, really fast for customers that have already gone through the process of adding on the CRM product when they already have the ITSM one. So first place I wanted to show you then was just the administration console that I talked about. So I'll just hit that one. So the first thing that will probably hit you immediately is this guy here. This has been streamlined. So it's broken down into 4 different chunks that follow how we actually implement the system. So we've got the first chunk, which is people. So that's how you map your organization into the system, any teams or queues or departments that are managing inquiries in different ways, actually configuring your agents and the permissions that they have in the platform, and of course bringing in that all-important customer data, whether that's from just a spreadsheet or a platform like Dynamics or an accounting package to bring that contact data in. So those are our people settings. And then we have here our channels. So I'll go into more detail about this in a moment when we talk about the omnichannel approach. But we've just brought all of those communication methods into one centralized configuration area. So it's one chunk of the implementation process that you can kind of do yourself in a really easy and meaningful way. We've then broken down the rest of the system into processes and workspace. Processes is how you actually manage inquiries, reviews, complaints, whatever it might be that you're using Halo to manage in a more meaningful and more sort of streamlined way. We then have the workspace. So this is how you manage the system itself. So how does it look and feel? What does reporting look like? What languages have you set the system up in? That kind of thing. So it's just much more intuitive. And when you're actually building out the system, you can go point by point when you're configuring it. So it's a lot easier to do. What do you think?
I love it because it does really put things in focus for who is the intended audience that's going to be leveraging this system. And as you said in the very, very beginning, the idea behind this was to allow those groups to administer the system to a great degree themselves. Exactly. Obviously, IT is always involved in certain things to get connectors up or what have you. But this takes away that need for a full-time administrator. It could be someone within the group that's focused on the outcomes that are part of this product. And so that's kind of exciting because it's the key pieces that they're really going to use. So I'm looking forward to seeing what else you've been up to.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, let's move on to the omni-channel approach. So just scrolling down to this area here. So all the lovely functionality that we already have of being able to email in and out of the system, connect as many mailboxes as we like to provide support to customers, and of course integrating telephony systems is all there. So those traditional support methods are just as robust as they've always been, with some nice new added features on the telephony side of things. What we've been building out is those methods of communication or support methods that aren't kind of so techy and traditional that we see in the ITSM and the PSA platform. So things like being able to text in and out the system. So we now integrate with platforms like Twilio, for example, to bring text in, send them out, all within this little area here. We've also expanded into social media integrations. So the biggest name, I suppose, in that being the Facebook being Facebook and the other Meta products. That's something as simple as, I don't know, maybe someone sends a Facebook message to your Facebook page. That can now appear as a ticket in Halo or a conversation in Halo. if someone comments on one of your Facebook posts or replies to one of your Facebook adverts or maybe leaves a Facebook review, that all comes into one centralized space here, which you're seeing, so that inquiries list. We also have built out an integration with WhatsApp, which is really exciting. So same thing, someone can WhatsApp your sort of support team and get a response back via WhatsApp, all audited in the same place. We've just recently finished our new Twitter integration. We're about to build out Instagram as well, which is really exciting. And in the future, we're even looking at things like WeChat. We're sort of flirting with the TikTok API, no sort of set plan there yet, but yeah, it's really kind of an area of focus, how we bring in those social media inquiries, particularly for that B2C audience. So I don't know, say you're a supermarket or a fashion retailer, your customers are everywhere. It's every member of the public, right? And what do we like to use? Social media. So it's important that brands have that presence there and can provide support in those areas too. So really, really exciting one. As well as that, we've started kind of building deeper integrations with actual websites. So where previously you had to use things like the self-service portal to provide a form for a customer to fill in, we now have the ability to embed our forms into your websites. So rather than having, I don't know, a contact form that actually fires out an email in the background that someone has to manage in a mailbox, you can literally configure a Halo form, and that can just be embedded on the website. And when that pulls through, it pulls through into this same area. So lots of really exciting things going on, but the key point of all of this is that all of those channels are connected to HaloCRM, and it means that they all come through in a really predictable way, which is like this, and it allows you to prioritize across all those different channels. It allows you to balance the resource, so your agents across all of those different channels in a meaningful way, and of course centralizes all that lovely data into one central reporting suite or a real-time dashboard, for example. So you can pull out information about that customer journey, really meaningful, actionable insights, and that then you can use to further improve customer experience, and allows you to identify where, I don't know, maybe those gaps in processes are. Is there maybe a channel that's being underutilized? All of that data you suddenly have at your fingertips in one centralized space. So really exciting, really, really exciting. And yeah, an area that's always growing. Thoughts on that one?
I love it. I love it. It gives you the ability to communicate with your customers where they live.
Exactly.
That is something that is so key to a customer service function. Wherever those customers are, you're going to be able to communicate. I see things like you've got WhatsApp, and this is truly speaking to the globalized nature of this product. Right here in the U.S., we don't use WhatsApp quite as much, but a retailer here in the U.S., somebody who owns a store, may be dealing worldwide. And WhatsApp is used in a lot of countries very heavily over SMS, but we have both. So we have the ability to communicate with that customer where they're at, and then with Facebook and you're working on Instagram, and who knows what other integrations we'll see as we move forward, being able to really have the integrations available where the customers live. What are the things that we need to do? And and that'll all be driven by what are your customers, what does Halo's customers tell you need. But we've got the main ones that people are. I started going through my mind. Well, what about like Google reviews? What about if I'm a restaurant or a hotel or something, a boutique hotel, I may be on Yelp and other things. Rome wasn't built in a day, but these are all things that we're going to eventually see. Where, as you said, we see that individual customer's full journey with us. And we can start to correlate that data together over a certain, I can think about over a period of time, do we have more complaints than we might have normally? And being able to explore it across multiple channels is pull all that data together and gives us that insight into what's going on with our organization. Very exciting. Very exciting. Data is key.
Yes, so true. And I think as well, the channels that an organization uses is really delineated by what's important to them. So, for example, telephony can be a really expensive support mechanism sometimes. So it might be that an organization wants to see the data to make sure that other channels that are less expensive to use are going up. So that's the kind of thing we can provide. And of course, some of these mechanisms are better suited to organizations that are kind of 24-hour. So if you do have a lot of volume of requests overnight when your team is asleep, we can make sure that we have things like chatbots available for people to interact with, or a help center with knowledge base articles on it so people can kind of self-serve, or of course contact forms on their website so they can interact at any hour of the day. So it just means that whatever is suitable for that organization, whatever makes sense for their customer, we can make sure there's something there for them. And I mean, going nicely onto the last area of the system that I wanted to show you, we can collect all of that data. So if you don't know that information yet, you don't know what your customers want, we can collect that here and help you understand, I guess, that customer profile. What do people want to see? What channels are they using? Awesome. So yeah, last piece that I wanted to kind of highlight today is this customers area. Previously with the software, it was really difficult to manage a B2C model within the platform. So we've really ripped that out, and now Halo lets you manage a completely B2C database of contacts and members of the public, rather than just that kind of B2B model. So Susan here, you can see, for example, has no customer or site link to her account. She is just Susan. She is a member of the public, and we have her email address here, phone numbers, and so on and so forth. You'll also notice that down the side here, this purple panel is new. So it allows you to create your own custom lists of either customers, locations, contacts, wherever it might be. So you can more easily filter through the sort of customer information that you have and pull out those kind of meaningful lists of data. So a really sort of simple example of that is, who are my VIPs? Karen here is, I don't know, someone that's really important to my organization. Maybe she's a decision maker, maybe she's the head of the organization, something like that. So now we can really easily find that data out of the bigger list of individuals. Okay. If we jump into here as well, what we've done with the Omnichannel piece that I mentioned before is just made sure that all that information from all of those different channels is audited against that individual's account. So when we look at Karen's profile, we can see all the inquiries across every single different channel and all that rich data in one single place. And of course, when we go into that inquiry, so this is an issue she's had with the payment, I believe, there we go, we can see all the interactions that she's had with us recently. So it just gives us more context when we're actually trying to support Karen. So it all kind of hangs together, all of that information from all of those channels kind of pulls together to just give the best support experience that we possibly can using that data.
Well, and you've taken it a step further where, based on how they communicated with us, we can actually reply to them within that same channel.
Absolutely.
Or potentially a different channel, should the need require. We have that as an option.
Absolutely, yeah. So, I mean, right now in my little test environment, I only have the email option configured. But yeah, rest assured, if you've got Twitter switched on or WhatsApp or whatever it might be, all of those options will appear up here. So you can really seamlessly switch between different channels when you're talking to someone. So say, for example, that the conversation started on Twitter and they then gave you your email address. You could very easily just add that email address in here and then switch on to that email channel at the click of a button. So really seamless, and you can kind of follow that journey that the customer wants to follow rather than being restricted by the platform and the kind of capabilities that you have there. So yeah, really exciting, really exciting.
So we can learn everything about our interaction that we have with that customer, and I, as a customer service representative, can then communicate with them however I need, and I also have a full view of them as a customer. Who could ask for anything more?
Well, I don't know. We're pretty pleased with it.
Yeah, it's an exciting advancement because it does give us the ability to provide a level of customer care that's difficult to do in many other circumstances, where you just don't have that full view of the customer and the things that we need to do. And I know for the folks that are looking for systems like this, is this customer constantly having problems? And it lets us evaluate: is that are we the problem? Are they the problem? How do we need to handle this? Because you do have to react to your customers in various ways. Sometimes there are challenging customers, and so how do we manage that expectation? Or here's this customer that's been a great customer, and now they're having their first problem. Did they get an extra level of white glove care because they're every customer is valuable. But one of the things one of my favorite airlines said to me is all customers are treated equally respectfully, but not all customers necessarily get exactly the equal treatment. That high level customer may have more stops pulled out for them than someone who's constantly. But how do you know that? Well, you got to have the data available to you, and here's a way that we give you that data and let you, as an organization, understand not only an individual customer, but also things on a more macro level as to what may be going on within your organization from a customer's perspective. What are the customers saying, right? That's always that social media thing of, is somebody monitoring that? Because it can go sideways very, very quickly. So how is it being managed? And now we have a way to manage that and take that data that we're managing and make, as you stated, actionable insights from that data that's being shared. Somebody complained about something and now there's a dog pile because everybody's had that same problem. I see it. I'm an avid Kickstarter viewer. I'm very selective as to which ones I back, but it's been a very interesting journey recently with one product that was released by a well-known company, and they have somebody actively kind of managing the discussion around this brand new product that's been put out there. And it's been very interesting with that interaction. Overwhelmingly, the customers have been very positive. And are having a good experience, even ones that are having a challenge where their box arrives damaged or whatever. They're having a positive experience because there's that's being actioned quickly, being responded to in a quick way. And rather than having somebody dedicated managing one social channel or one group that's created in Facebook, which can really be a full-time job, we've now taken this and been able to bring it into a system that lets us do that more broadly and more effectively, which I find very exciting.
Me too.
I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be great. So I look forward to being able to delve into some of these things in more detail with you, and being able to share with our viewers all of the innovations that are coming out of the HaloCRM laboratory, and watch as this product just continues to evolve and become so amazing. Olivia, thanks for joining me today and sharing what's going on there at HaloCRM.
Thanks, Mike.
ExcaliburData.com is our website. You can learn about HaloCRM there, even sign up for your own free trial. We'd love to hear from you and get Olivia on the horn with you and show you the power of HaloCRM and what it can bring to your organization. See you all again soon on a future episode. Take care, everyone.